This is Betty with Betty's Stampin' Crazy, and I'm back with a card that I was trying out some products that are going to be retiring. Actually, I've played with these before, but I came across one that I blundered on. I thought I did anyway. So let me show you the piece that I did. And this is our Irresistibly Floral Designer Series paper, I believe it's called. And it is retiring. As far as I know, it's still in the book, so or still available. So, or when I checked this morning, it was. What I did was I took and watercolored 2 different colors, and then as I was wiping off the excess water, which you don't get this too wet because it is not watercolor paper, I was using a paper towel that I had used on another card, and it had Pacific Point on it. And as I was dabbing, didn't realize I was activating the blue ink. So I think you can see it. Yeah, you can see the little specks on there. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh no, I ruined it. But then I got to looking at it like, oh, I like that. So we're going to do a card showcasing this effect today, and then I will show you some of the other cards and samples that I've made with the rest of the papers that go with this set. So what we're going to start out with is we're going to be using, I haven't even made a card yet because I wanted to do this with you. Excuse me. We're going to need a piece of 3x3 Whisper White, and that's going to be for our sentiment. And then the background behind the Whisper White is going to be 3x3. You really don't need this big a piece, but I gave myself extra space for the sentiment. And then of course we're going to be using the Irresistibly Yours Designer Series paper. And the way this is, it's like it's embossed, and I know you can see it, it's shining. So it resists the color. Okay, and that is 5 1/4 by 4. Alright, we're also going to take a piece of Whisper White that is 5 1/4 by 4, and this is going to be for the inside of the card. So I'm going to set that aside. The base of the card, I've got glitter everywhere, I always do. The base of the card is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So we're going to set that aside. Let me show you the inks that I used. Okay, we are going to be using the Pacific Point, which is what I messed up with. We're going to be using the Watermelon Wonder, which is one of our in colors that is going to be going out with the new catalog. So you might want to pick those up if you can. The refills I think are already run out for these, but I think you can still get the pads. This is our new in color that's not going out this year. It's Peekaboo Peach. And then for the sentiment, we're going to be using the basic black archival ink. Also, another stamp set that is going to be retiring is called Friendly Wishes, and we're going to be putting You're the Best on it. And this, I didn't want to put any flowers or anything on this one because it can be for a guy or a woman. We're also going to be using our layering squares. And let me get my little note here because that tells me which one I used. On the layering squares, I used the number 7 of the straight ones. And then on our stitched framelits, I used the squares, but I used number 3 on the stitched framelit squares. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this. And the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and color this in, and I did use a watercolor brush. So let's move this out of the way. I don't want to get stuff on it. And I'm bringing in a nasty piece of paper here because I don't want to get this too wet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to mash the insides like we always do. Open that up. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Peekaboo Peach. Oops, didn't get very much on that one. Okay, we did that. Got it that time. And I'm going to move this stuff up so that I can get to it. And I'm going to kind of move over some because I'm right next to the edge. And I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, first thing we're going to do is drop a little bit of water in it. Like I said, you don't want too much water. Like maybe two deals of it. 2 drips. And then kind of mix it real good because I want this really bright. And then this is a big piece, so I'm going to come in and color down one side. I hope this isn't glaring to you, it's glaring to me. And if it's not enough color, come back in and add a little bit more. Let me get this turned where I can see it because it was glaring the other direction. Okay, just go all the way down. And you don't have to be perfect. I didn't want this card perfect. I wanted it to look a little out of sync, or I don't know what you call it, kind of ragged looking, like it is watercolored. So if I go over the edge, I don't care. Okay, then I'm going to go to the next, not this one, but this one, and do the same thing. And what I'm doing is just coloring every other one in. Be sure you get to the edge. And I'm going to color a couple of these in, and then I'm going to come back and do the peach so I can kind of show you what it's going to look like. Let's do one more down here. I don't think it'll hurt a thing. And get it kind of dark. I like it dark. Make it show up. This is actually going to be more the focal point of the card than the sentiment, because I like this way this came out. Get some more ink on that. I'm actually not putting any more water in the lid, as you can see, because those 2 drops were actually enough. Let me turn this so I don't get it all over my hand. I'm gonna miss that Watermelon Wonder because I did use it quite a bit. Of course, I'll still have it for my personal use because I did get the ink refill. I always, when I buy, it's a good thing if you really think about it. Since these ink colors, well, even your regular colors, when you do buy an ink pad, go ahead and buy the refill, the little refills, because you never know when you're going to need it. And who knows when they'll be going out. Okay, that's done. Let me go ahead and clean this off. And what we're going to try is we're going to take, I'm hoping it'll work this way, we're going to take a paper towel, we're going to scrunch it up real good. We're going to go ahead and dip it into this, and we're going to kind of dip it off so it's not too dark. And then we're going to come back in here and just kind of play around. Just do it like that. And what I'm doing is getting a little color on there, plus I'm kind of cleaning off those most of the excess water off. Then whenever this dries completely, that did come out pretty, didn't it? I like that. Get a little bit more up here. It's a little darker than the other one, but I like that. Shows up better. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to come back in with a clean paper towel. And we're just going to clean the part off that is shiny. I like this. Like I said, you never can go wrong whenever you do something, because you can always make it look good, even your mistakes. There you go. See, the white's clean? Just right there. And that doesn't matter because it probably covered up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp "You're the Best." And I'm going to do that in the basic black. And I want to try to get this right in the middle so that I'm not afraid of going off the edge. Like I said, I gave myself plenty of room, so it's not so bad. Okay. And I don't need my piercing mat for this because it is the red rubber. Oh, that looks good. Okay, and since this is archival ink, I want to go ahead and clean this right quick. So let me grab my stamp cleaner. And that is the only thing I'll be cleaning off. As most of you know, I love my stamp cleaner. I have 4 of these, and I use them up and then I wash them all and use them again. Okay, now I'm going to bring the Big Shot over, and I'm going to cut out that and "You're the Best." I mean the black piece. Let me move this over here. Oops, let's turn that around so I can get to the handle. There we go. Okay, let me get my frames here. Pull this top one off. I'll put this right here. And put that down there and try to get it as straight as I can. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my black piece of 3x3. And I'm going to cut them out at the same time. This is the straight one, the straight layering frame. Okay. Oh, didn't want to come out. Because of the stitching in this, sometimes it tends to want to hang. But it will come out fairly easy. Just be careful with it. Set that to the side. Put that up and set it to the side. Now let me get rid of this. Okay, easy, easy, easy to put this back together. I'm going to go ahead and put my inside in. I set these off to the side so I know what size is when I go to put it on my blog. Okay, there's the inside. And I'm not stamping anything on this. Okay. I'm using fast fuse. You could use snail, it doesn't matter. I think all my snails over on the table where we had a class last time that I usually keep in my drawer. Oh, it's hard to see the line on this one in the middle. Hopefully I'm getting that straight. Okay, let's turn this over. And I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And Gonna make sure I got enough snail on it. Of course, you did use a watercolor. I mean, used a watercolor brush. Oops, I messed that one up. So it warps the paper a little bit. So I'm gonna put a little bit extra on it. And then I'm gonna grab my tweezers so I can see what I'm doing. Let me kind of warp it back down a little bit. Okay. That looks okay. Now, on this, I'm going to go ahead and put this on straight. On this. But I'm going to put dimensionals. Let me grab those on the back of that. And I'm sorry, every time I close this drawer, I try to close it easy, but it kind of shakes the camera. I'm going to put 4 on here. It should be enough. And I really do like this. How simple can that be? And you had fun playing with the paper. So let's go ahead and bend it. Okay, there's that one. Let me go ahead and grab the other ones that I wanted to show you that I've been playing with. Okay, this one is the circles. And what I did was I sponged it a little bit with, let me get the color here. It is Calypso Coral at the top, and I used the Daffodil Delight here, and I used a little bit of the Pear Pizzazz down here. But on the stamping, I went ahead and used the Calypso Coral and the Wild Wasabi on these leaves. They are keeping this Butterfly Basics, which is the stamp set I used on this one. I used the layering ovals, and the sentiment is coming from Flourishing Phrases, and that is staying. So those two, thank goodness. I really like those two. Also, let's see, I used the Pear Pizzazz paper and Whisper White. I think that's all on that one. But I like, that's the little one with the little circles. And what I did was I just stamped over it and then wiped everything off. So let's put that back on there, because I am going to be putting these on my blog. This one, I used a whole piece of the 5 1/4 by 4, and I sponged it, or actually I brayered this one with the sponge brayer, and then cleaned it up. And if you'll notice, it didn't come out quite as white. It did leave a little blue behind on this one. I don't know if it's because it's a darker color or what, but then I cut it diagonal, put it on here, and then I used the layering circles, and I used the Guy Greetings for this one. I believe that's all I used on that one. Yeah, the Guy Greetings. And this is Pacific Point, Whisper White, and Basic Black. And you can use this for another card. Okay, let's set that to the side. Now these I have not finished. I just wanted to play around with this paper. So what this is let me think. I got it in here. Wisteria Wonder. And I used, do I have it over here? I was just playing around. So this is the one I used. And all I did was started down at the corner and just started coming up. And I kept doing that. So it wound up darker down here than up here. And I really like that ombre look. But everything is Wisteria Wonder. I just stayed with the color, and then of course this is one of those designer series paper. Sorry, I'm all tongues today. Okay, this one, it uses, let me get this out so I can see the colors. It uses Pear Pizzazz, which is the leaves, Peekaboo Peach, Flirty Flamingo, and then Sweet Sugar Plum is this one right here. And I just took a sponge dauber and just kind of went in like this. I just used a dauber on these little one. The paper is Flirty Flamingo and Pear Pizzazz. This one, oops, let me put that back with that so I don't lose it. This one is Calypso Coral and Daffodil Delight is the two inks. And then the paper is Calypso Coral and Whisper White. And I used a sponge just going in and just randomly on that one. And this, I just used a sponge, but I did the bottom and Elegant Eggplant, and then this one is, the top part is Marina Mist. And I haven't done anything with it yet. I'm not sure what I want to do. This is our new ink colors. Just 2 of them, that's all it is. I only have 3 because I didn't go to the on stage. So, and I'll show you those in a minute. This, I used the stripe paper again, but I just used a small piece and I couldn't tell you what size it is. I'll put it on my blog. I used the, let me get those. I used the Lemon Lime Twist. These will be in our new catalog come June. But I have there's a special coming out May 1st that I will be telling you about, and it will be on my blog. I will put it up the day before, so I will be putting it up on the, is it the 30th of April? Because I don't think we have 31 days this month. Anyway, it'll be the day before May 1st. So this is Lemon Lime Twist, and that's what I did the butterfly in. And then I put Wink of Stella on him. I did these leaves right here in it. And then I sponged it in the middle. Now on this outside is our new Tranquil Tide. Sorry, don't want to get that to where it blinds you. And I stamped the flowers are the, oh, I didn't write it down here, but it's the succulents, which is going out. It's retiring. If you want this set, grab the bundle, because I'm hoping a lot of you saw the video that I did with the flowers where I put them in the pot. Okay, anyway, this is the Tranquil Tide that I stamped those with, and then I put a little oh, I can't even think right now, rhinestone in the middle. And I also sponged a little bit of the Tranquil Tide, believe it or not, around the edge, and mixing it with that lemon lime made it more green than the greenish blue it is. This is stamped in the Tranquil Tide. This is the Tranquil Tide paper right here, but I did not have any lemon lime. It was not in our pre-order kit if you didn't go to the on stage, but the Tranquil Tide was. So I put it on Pear Pizzazz. So anyway, that's this one. And I did come in and stamp a couple of those flowers inside. I believe that's it as far as my samples and stuff. So this, but like I said, I've got another set that I did get with my pre-order, and I will be trying it out, playing with it. And like I said, these are the 3 that I have. There's 2 more coming out. And we should be able to pre-order those ourselves as demonstrators. We will be able to get those order them on the 2nd, so it'll be a little after that before I get my order. But anyway, and I also have a set that I will be playing with probably next week that I did get to pre-order, and it has a lot. It is so pretty, so I think you're going to really love it. Anyway, go on my website, because even if you go on my blog or if you go on the online store, the discounts on a lot of the retiring stuff, go to the clearance rack. It's really fantastic. They've added a lot more stuff just the last couple of days. Plus, you want to look at the retiring list and see what's going to be going away. If you like something, grab it while you can. And if you can get it in a bundle, grab it in a bundle. So anyway, this is Betty with Betty's Stampin' Crazy. Thank you.